Somebody wants to come inside. He's getting very frustrated out there. We've trained our dog to ring a bell to come in. I suppose I should let him in. Hey YouTube, Cichlid Nirvana here. Yesterday I put out a video kind of introducing you to my channel and talking about what my intentions were, what I wanted to do, what I wanted to accomplish. So today I wanted to show you my 75-gallon Mbuna tank. This is my very first aquarium. These are my very first fish. I built this stand and canopy myself. And in another video maybe I'll go into how I did that and get a closer look at them. Apologies if anything's out of focus. I'm never recorded a video before using this camera, so I'm I'm struggling with audio, and I'm struggling with getting the thing to focus, so it's going to take some playing to get it to work. But anyway, today I want to talk about how I got my fish that are in this tank, what my experiences are ordering things online, and things like that. What you saw in the beginning of the video is my dog, Cash. He's yeah, one of the pets. We're here to talk about the fish, but I thought as I was going to record this video, he first rang the bell to go outside, and then he, as I was recording, jumped on the door to want to come back in, so he's a camera hog. But anyway, I'm going to take you in and give you a closer look at the fish and talk about my experiences getting the fish to me. I ordered these fish from Live Fish Direct. See if it won't focus. I can talk a little bit about my experience ordering fish online. I know some people are terrified of it, but people in an area like me, I live in Minnesota, and I live in kind of an area where there's not a heavy population. So I don't have a local fish store. The closest local fish store to me is 60 miles away, believe it or not. So I kind of went there and I looked at some of the stores. There's the big box PetSmart and like a more regional big box type of store. And I checked out their fish there, and they were pretty expensive for as many as I wanted to order. So I decided, hey, let's just try the online ordering thing. And dealing with Live Fish Direct was amazing. They had great customer service. I ordered a batch of fish. I ordered 36 fish, 34 Mbuna and 2 Bristlenose Plecos for this tank. And I'll talk in another video about fishless cycling and how I got the tank cycled and my experiences with that. But I'll keep this video just kind of my fish and my ordering them. So unfortunately, when I ordered the fish, the first time they didn't have enough stock. I ordered a lot, and they were kind of just before their new order, and so they kind of held off a day, which would have been perfectly fine, because after I ordered the first time, or the first day, I realized there was a snowstorm coming in, and we've had not a great winter here, and it had been really cold, like below zero, and I was nervous. They assured me that they usually don't have any problems and that the fish will arrive. So we delayed a day, and that was going to be good. The only issue was the storm slowed down and took another day to kind of hit us. And we had negative 15-degree temperatures and low wind chills lower than that, and a nasty, nasty blizzard come through, bad winds. And so FedEx couldn't get the package here. It got stuck 60 miles away, and they weren't going to make it in a 24-hour delivery. And I called Live Fish Direct, and they assured me it should be fine, that they pack their bags well. And I know I think they're out of Utah. They're somewhere over there, and so they deal with cold too. But I didn't know if they deal with this cold, and I was just nervous. My area here, I have bad experiences with FedEx. Some places, they assured me that they've had better experiences with FedEx than UPS. I think a lesson would be that probably a company's only as good as their employees, and some areas are going to have great UPS employees, some are going to be bad, some are going to have great FedEx employees, some are going to be bad. I actually called FedEx and that day, and I was trying to track down the package and just see if they were going to deliver it on Saturday, because this was a Friday, and if they weren't going to deliver on Saturday, then it was going to be Monday when I received them. And the lady at FedEx essentially told me, when I asked her if they were going to deliver them to that day, she said, "Of course not." That's all she said. And then I said, "Well, do you think that they'll deliver tomorrow?" And she said to me, "How should I know?" That was her response. That's all she ever said to me. I said, "Okay," and hung up. But that was great, great on FedEx. But so what I did was ordered a package from Amazon next day air, and they generally do get, and for Saturday delivery, and they generally do get to me. So that worked out pretty well, because sure enough, Saturday came, and they did deliver to me, which was great. So the box came Saturday, and I could tell right away that there was maybe an issue. The FedEx guy didn't ring the bell. I was notified by my dog freaking out that they were probably delivering, and it was great. The fish came, opened up the box, and I could tell right away something was wrong because the water was ice cold. My guess is they sat out on a truck all day, and every fish was dead in the box. And I thought, this is kind of an interesting experience than the way I decided to approach it. I took some pictures and then decided, what the heck, these guys are African cichlids, so they shouldn't live like this. But around here, the fish can survive pretty cold temperatures in the water, so I thought what I should maybe try is just acclimating them. So I acclimated the fish in the tank. I just put the bags in, and I could tell, I took some pictures right away, I could tell they were just all dead. And I let them acclimate for probably about 10 minutes, and then I noticed some gill movement in a couple of the fish. And so I took the fish, I took the bags out right away and opened them up, and I kind of went through the process, put a net in a bucket, and kind of dumped the fish out into that net. And I really looked close for anyone that showed any sign of life. And there was one that was, I could tell, looked like it might be okay, and I threw it in the tank, and it was swimming around. Now, it didn't look great, but it was swimming around, and through further searching, I found 4 more that had gill movement, were just laying on their sides. And I put them in the big tank, and I realized that this may be a mistake, and since they were so stressed, I could be introducing disease, and it might not be a good idea. But I didn't have any other fish in the tank, and right then I didn't know of other options, and I wanted to do what I could to try to save any that I could. The fish that they sent me were, man, I ordered their lowest price group assortment, and I could tell they sent me some fish much bigger. There were some that were over 2 inches that they sent me, and they were supposed to be 3/4 to an inch in sizes all, just a little fry almost. And so I was really disappointed. But I did lose one. One died. It stopped. The gills stopped moving, and I could tell it had died fairly soon. A couple more died that evening, and believe it or not, or one more died that evening, and 2 more did. I'm sorry, and so 3 total had died, but 2 of them actually survived that. I bet the water was, geez, it had to be 40 degrees or lower. And they started coming to, and they were really skittish at first. They'd been through a lot, but I called Live Fish Direct, and I sent the pictures, and they were fantastic. They just said they'd get out and order right away, and were sorry that happened. They said it was very rare to lose a whole batch. And I just kind of had said, at that point, I just kind of had told them, I sent them the pictures and just said I thought they were all dead. I never thought that the 2 would survive. I thought they would just die like the other ones had. So they, that Monday, that following Monday, they called and said, or I called them and said, what, like, how soon can you get me an order? And they told me, I was real hesitant because then I was kind of worried about temperature and everything, and they assured me that they do it all the time. They ship to cold places all the time, and it would be fine. And I understood that they probably would have been if they wouldn't have got stuck overnight. And it's not, I don't blame FedEx. The weather was terrible. I mean, roads were shut down. It was bad, but the way they handled it, their customer service wasn't great. I said that I've got to pick up with 4-wheel drive. I would have maybe tried to go up to Mankato to the place where they were to try to get them, but the place that's 60 miles away from my house, and they didn't even want to help me out with that. They said there was no promises. They were shutting down. So Live Fish Direct, like I said, was good. They didn't have 2 Bristlenose. They only had 1, but they had a Clown, like a bigger Clown Pleco, and so they switched those 2 out and didn't charge me any more for it and sent me out another order. So that went perfect. The fish arrived then on Tuesday by noon. Acclimated them, got them in. One of the fish had Colmenares, I believe. He had kind of a saddleback spot on his back, and I noticed in the bag that he was like that and didn't think anything of it. And put him in, but I could tell he didn't look right then after we watched the fish in the tank. And so I started treating him. I watched some of Conway's videos, and I gave him a few dips. And I think I used Paragard at first. I started treating the tank with Seachem's Paragard. And then I went to... I did a dip in Furon and triple sulfa, I believe is what they were called. While I was treating the whole tank with Paragard, I just took that one out, caught him, and put him in. And he lasted. I kind of read up a little bit on Colmenares, and it turned kind of brown, the spot did, and then it turned red. The first day I also kind of did a spot treatment with peroxide, hydrogen peroxide, on a Q-tip. But it slowly started getting worse. It went to brown. I think he was just pretty far along, and then it went red. And from what I had researched, it seemed like once it got to that point, it wasn't going to last long. And it wasn't long. Probably 6 hours later, we didn't see him in the tank, and so we did we did a water change, and then pulled the rocks and stuff out of the tank and found him dead. So. We lost that one from that order. I continued treating the tank with Paragard for 2 weeks, daily. At night, when the lights went off, I would treat it. And we didn't lose any more fish. No other fish showed signs. And so we didn't lose any. I started counting then and realized I didn't count. I don't know why, I just excited to get them. When I got the second order from Live Fish Direct, I didn't count, but I think they sent a few extras to me. And since I had those 2 make it from the first batch, we're a little overstocked. We were probably 40 fish and then lost one, so we probably have 39 fish with the 2 plecos in here, which is, I know that's way too much for a 75-gallon. I've got a 29 in the other room that I bought at the same time as this, and I think we're going to move some over, but they're pretty small right now. So... the tank is impossible to keep clean. I mean, they just eating crap, I think, is all these guys do. And I knew that going in. But so, we won't want it this heavily stocked. But aggression-wise, it's been okay. Seems like they get distracted if they start going after one. They get distracted by others, which is what some say will happen with these kind of aggressive fish. But anyway, so my dealings with Live Fish Direct, I mean, it went perfect. They took care of me, completely no charge, sent me fish. The only thing that kind of that I was kind of disappointed about was that second order that I got. The fish were much smaller. They were what I ordered in the first place. It's not live fish. I mean, they went above and beyond the first time, I think, because they had to wait an extra day. Essentially gave me the pick of the batch on the first order that I got from them. And that wasn't the case the second time, which kind of stunk. It kind of set me back a little bit based on the size. I think it's been about 3-4 weeks since we got them initially, and maybe it's even been 5 weeks, and so some of these aren't even as big as what the first order was when I initially got them, and they were all dead. But anyway, so I mean, I kind of hit the horror story on ordering fish online, got the batch, and they died, and it just, you didn't want to see the fish put through that. I mean, yeah, they took care of me. It didn't cost me anything extra. It put Live Fish Direct out because they had to replace all of them. But it kind of stunk for the fish, the stress that it put them in. And it's interesting, you know, they said they love FedEx, never have any issues with them. Around here, where I live, I have issues with FedEx not showing up, not delivering packages and stuff, and UPS is great. But again, I think it's just the area that I'm in. It's just the drivers and stuff like that. So, but anyway, I've been rambling on for a while now. Hopefully it focused. It's not, I don't have the greatest lens on my camera. I've got a piece of zucchini in there for them to eat right now. Here, I'll move over. I don't know what I all have because I ordered in a batch. I don't know what I all have for fish in here. I know I've got some electric blue, I don't know if it's Johannes. I don't know scientific names and stuff. Maybe I'll learn one day, but I'm very new to the hobby. So, I got some Williams Eye blue lips that kind of hang out in the back of the tank generally. There's one in the front and one in the back right there. I think I've got some red zebras. I know I've got some snow whites. If he'd sit still. I've got some electric yellow labs. I believe Fellabruni. I think that one of them, there was a pair of them and one of them died. I've got 2 pullets, and those guys are a pain. The 2 that I got are a pain. If you look at my aquascape here, I'm doing a big water change this afternoon here and switching some stuff around. I just got cichlid stones. Because I live in Minnesota, setting up this tank was challenging, and I'll go into that more in detail. Just because the rocks in the fish store were ridiculously expensive. It was cheaper for me to order these cichlid stones on Amazon. $65. I think you can get 15 of them. I only have 8 of them in the tank right now, and I don't have the big ones, and I think I'm going to put everything back in here. But when I was treating the tank, I wanted to be able to see more of what was going on when I was treating for the Colmenares or whatever it was. Maybe that's not what it was. But, yeah, so I have all these, but these pullets, there's 2 of them they sent me, and I can't sex these guys yet because they're so small. I kind of have an idea, but I'm thinking I might have 2 males, and one has claimed the stack of 3 the way I have it set up on the left side, and one's claimed the stack of 3 on the right side, and they just go after anybody that gets near. My Clown Pleco, he kind of hides in the back, and those little polished rocks in the back of the tank that are kind of covering the air stones. And the small, really tiny Bristlenose Pleco that I have, he's kind of all around. We never really see the Clown Pleco, but we see the Bristlenose. He's out a lot. Yeah, I know I've got some Kenyai in here, I think. I'm sure I do. Textilus, got 2 of those. I think I have albino red tops, 2 of those, and then 2 snow whites. But yeah, there are going to be some pretty fish when these guys grow up. It's interesting how they kind of, the Williams eyes, they kind of are kind of together in the back. I don't know how to say what size these guys are, 1.5 inches, some of them are probably only an inch yet. But this video has been going on a very long time, about 20 minutes. So I'm going to cut it off here. In future videos, let me know what you guys want to see. In future videos, I can talk about how I built the stand and how I set everything up. But anyway, have a good one, and I'll talk to you later.